I'm going to talk about capitalism in and of itself today. I should have talked about this a long time ago, because as Jim Profit Communist, you would think I would do more videos directly about communism. Now, what I want to talk about here is how capitalism ruins industry. It does not benefit it in any way. I know that goes contrary to what your imperialist school system has taught you, but look around you. Look at the post office, for example. Postal service is down dramatically, especially in state-funded post office, like the U.S. Post Department. Why is that? Do you think it's because somehow the post office is obsolete due to the internet? Like we still don't need to deliver physical objects? No. Is it because the state is incompetent? No. The state runs everybody's household and, figures out where things need to go and when they need to be there at very fast times. They do a very good job. I am not, saying the post office is incompetent. What I'm saying here is that they're losing jobs and they're losing momentum because of capitalism. But why? Well, the reason is that UPS and FedEx have taken a monopoly over the post office industry and have begun replacing the post office because we don't need mail quite as much. Why don't we need mail quite as much? Because capitalism has saturated it with fucking junk mail. Every day I get mail, I get at least 5 times more junk than something I actually need. Well, I say need in a loose term because I don't need bills, I don't need mortgage payments, but you get what I'm saying. Important mail, 1 out of 5. Non-important mail, 4 out of 5. Why the fuck is that able to happen? If you can call up some company and get yourself off the mailing list for telemarketers, why do you still get junk mail? Why do you still get spam mail? This whole spam defense system is bullshit, and that's what's happening online. Capitalism has ruined the online community. I know libertarians love to hide behind the fact that the internet was somehow invented by capitalism, even though that's complete bullshit, and the internet was actually invented during the Cold War. So if nothing else, you have to admit that communists at least motivated you imperialist scum to get up off your asses and do something, if not created the internet in its entirety. Because guess what? It was the government that created the internet. It may not have been intended for common use, but then again, the government probably knew that you were going to use it to look at pornography and lolcats instead of, teaching your children physics or communicating with your friends abroad and strengthening your relationships and your mind. So, that's what this comes down to. Capitalism is a disease. It rots us from the inside out. Today alone, I have received 6 calls from telemarketers since about 6 a.m. And at this moment, it's about noon. So, that means I have gotten 1 call by the hour, on the dot, by a telemarketer. Why? What purpose does that serve? Who does that benefit? What kind of job is that where you have to call on a fucking hourly basis the same goddamn person? If you know my phone number and you know enough about me to try to, persuade me to buy your product because you know what I do for a living and shit, then surely you must know I don't have any money, and therefore I cannot afford the bullshit you're trying to sell me. So you're wasting your time as well as mine, because why should I have to answer the phone to fucking tell you I don't have jack shit, please stop calling me, and then you're gonna ignore it and call me back again tomorrow anyway. It just serves no purpose. It's just antagonistic. And that's capitalism for you. It's fucking antagonistic. It doesn't have any rhyme or reason. It's like a religion. It justifies itself because it exists. And that's it. That's the invisible hand of the free market. It'll solve itself. It created itself. It'll do everything. And it hasn't. It never has. It has always been the struggle of the poor. It has always been the competence of the government. And it has always been the will of the people that got shit done. Not the fucking market. There is nothing about telemarketers or spam mail or junk mail or the eradication of public services that has benefited humankind. And that's all I really have to say here, is the fact that it's complete bullshit that when I go to order something online, it costs as much as the fucking product itself, because now UPS and FedEx own a goddamn monopoly on the post industry. So I may start trying to rely on the postal service in and of itself, the government service, only to find out that probably they won't be able to do it because of their limited funds. Because since they're dying as an industry, they just don't have the time or the resources, to bring me my tobacco. And, that's ridiculous. The government is far cheaper. The government is far more efficient. The government provides better. The government has no incentive other than maintaining the stability of this country. And yet libertarians despise them. Why? What are you afraid of? What do you think the government is going to do to you? Do you think this is some fucking movie where, the government is like 1984 with, monitors, huge building-sized monitors with a guy on it saying to obey, submit? That's not fucking real life. You know what is real life? A bunch of fucking sleazy corporate owners who have nothing to gain but money and are willing to break your legs for said money. Maybe they won't break your legs because that's illegal and they don't want to ruin their image. But they will do underhanded means to get what they want. And you are just a pest. You are a bug. And you are in the way of their financial gain. That's what it comes down to. Businesses are just more clean-cut, more sophisticated versions of organized crime. They're a mafia. They're crime gangs. Whatever you want to call them. That's all they are. They're just less violent about it, and they have more to gain than those fucking gangs. Those gangs that kill each other in the streets for some stupid territory of a neighborhood so that they can control the drug circulation. These corporate types are much more powerful, much more influential, and know what they're doing far more than these street gangs. But yet it's the street gangs that go to jail, not, the CEO of Walmart or Target, McDonald's, anything. Especially Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg should be in jail for like 50 goddamn things. And no one wants to see that, because they want to believe in their religion so badly. That's why we need separation of church and state. Unfortunately, the church isn't a fucking cross anymore. It's a dollar sign. Money is more of a religion now than it's ever been. Even Christianity said to avoid money. Why? Because they knew even back then what it would lead to. That's why they said, one cannot serve two masters. You cannot obey God and Mammon. You must choose one of them. And in this case, people have made their choice. They have chosen Mammon. They have chosen greed. They have chosen financial gain. And what do we have to show for it? A fucking telemarketer calling us at the hour, on the hour. Fucking junk mail that's killing trees and shit just to tell me about a deal that's not really a sale or anything. It just looks like a sale of a $10.99 pizza at Pizza Hut or some bullshit. And it's shit I'm never going to need. It's shit I'm never going to buy anyway. It's shit I'm never going to use. And it's just thrown in my fucking face. That's capitalism. Why are we defending that? That's the main issue here. Why are we defending that? So, I guess I'll see you later.